Welcome to Beer Disciples. I'm Ross Quintana.
And I'm Bruno French.
Yeah, another sit-in here. Special guest Bruno French. That's right. And what we have here is an old Chub sitting right in front of us. So there it is, old frosty old Chub. Good old Chub. This is a Scotch ale from Oskar Blues Brewing, and I'm excited to review this because I've had it many times, and the first time I had it, I remember that it kind of really surprised me. I mean, the first thing is, I guess you think, wait, it's in a can. So what is this? Some cheap garbage beer? But some of the craft brewers, they were the first ones, I believe, to kind of take it into the can, and they have reasons why they like the can. There's no light penetration, all this and that, so it's actually not meant to, we think of cheapness when it comes to the can, but they're really trying to add value to their beer by putting it in a can. Now, if you haven't had Oskar Blues before, there's about 2 or 3 canned beers that are in the craft brew section, and some of them are really garbage in my opinion, and some of them are good. If it's me, so far I like the Oskar Blues. They do a great job, and 21st Amendment does a great job. Some of the other ones I'm suspect over. Okay, so Old Chub, it's a Scotch ale. They don't generally tell you much on their cans here. A virtual planetoid, and it's like Sputnik. So if that helps you, at least they tell us 8% by volume. So it's Oskar Blues Brewery. They're out of Lyons, Colorado. It's a Scotch ale, and Scotch ale, as far as the style goes, it's a name given to a strong pale ale believed to originate in Edinburgh in the 18th century. So this style actually is a style that I really enjoy. When I was kind of learning about beer, when I found the Scotch ales, it seemed like they had a great blend of malt and spice and all this, so I've naturally liked it, and I really liked this the first time I tried it. So the ABVs on this are 8%, so it's up there pretty decent actually, more than I would think, and IBU's 75. As far as I understand. Now, it was real hard to find the IBUs on this because they don't post it on the site, they don't have it on Rate Beer and all this and that. I had to do some digging. So how accurate that is, I can't exactly know, but that's what they say, 75 on the IBUs, which is pretty solid for a malty beer. The malts on this are going to be crystal, chocolate, beechwood, smoked grains from Bamberg, Germany, which is supposed to be home of the greatest smoked beers. So you're going to get that smokiness, and my buddy brews a Scotch ale. It was one of the first ones that he brewed, and I loved it. The peat, I don't know if this has peat in it, but that smoky, musty
peat moss
flavor I really enjoyed. But this is supposed to have 7 malts, and I couldn't track down again. Come on, Oskar Blues. What do you do? What are you undercover? You know, am I blowing your cover here? Because trying to find information on their beers, their site doesn't break it down like some of the other sites that I like, where it shows you exactly, there's 7 malts. Well, you only told me 3, so we got 4 mystery malts. You got mystery IBUs. Under hops, the best I could find is it said U.S. and U.K. hops. And it's like, ooh, thanks for telling me. We know that it's got water. It's a liquid that's brown. So anyway, let's get to the description off the website, because there's 99 on the can. It says, Old Chub is a Scottish-style ale brewed with copious amounts of crystal and chocolate malts and a dash of beechwood smoked malts. And I'm not going to read the next. Listen to this. This is in their description. While Dale's Pale Ale, the best-tasting canned beer I've ever had, according to many brewers and beer experts, is a showcase of both hops and pale malts, Old Chub is a celebration of malts. That was total like those when they do product placements in the middle of the movie, It's like, come on, man. You didn't need to distract me over to Dale's Pale Ale. It has nothing to do with this beer. Yeah. And they make good enough beers, they don't need to try and link them together in their advertising. Anyway, I thought that was embarrassing. So next it says the cola-colored beer features a dense, tawny head, a creamy mouthful of flavors, and flavors of. That went the wrong way, didn't it? A creamy mouthful. No, a creamy mouth. Oh, it does say a creamy mouthful. And flavors. I thought it said of flavors. And flavors of caramel, chocolate, and lightly roasted malt. Complex and rich, it finishes with the whisper of smokiness that calls to mind a fine single malt scotch. Okay, like I say to all beers, prove it.
Exactly.
Okay, let's crackage this. Get a pour on. Old Chub has smithered out. Here we go. Here comes the pour. I like to go right down the barrel. Nice, slow, two-tone cascading, medium-sized bubbles. Looks like kind of a soapy, not much lacing, but it's pretty soapy.
Mm-hmm.
Color on that,
Decent
some nice
color,
amber, red, little highlights there. Pretty solid, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So why don't you get your pour on?
Awesome.
The sophisticated man here drinks it out of a Riedel wine glass. Let's see.
Old Chub.
How's your old Chub doing? Looks like you're getting some carbonation in there.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a wee
Not
bit.
much of a head.
No,
Well,
Okay.
for me, pretty solid looking beer. I'm going to say as far as appearance goes, you can really see some red hue, some depth in there.
Yep.
That being said, I'm going to give it about a 4. It was pretty good for me. Didn't blow my mind away. I think it could have a little more depth if it was. I'm surprised coming back to it because the first time I had it, I really liked it. And I don't know if it was more carbonated, which I think it was. I think that might be one of the issues. Because this also feels like it lacks a little bit of a carbonation on it. So I don't know if maybe I got it early when they released it and it was more carbonated, because as a beer gets a little older, it smooths out a little bit.
I kind of like this though because it, with too much carbonation, sometimes you lose the flavors in the beer. And this particular one, I think it enhances the flavors.
Yeah, this is, you definitely get that sweet maltiness. You get the Scotch notes.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a good. You can taste the warmth of the 8% ABV on that in the back of your throat.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Pretty solid. So taste for me, I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna say 4, solid 4 for me. If it was a little more carbonated for me, and I feel like it's because it's a little bit of an older. I think it's probably maybe been on the shelves a little longer. I could have gone 4 or 5, but I'm going to go a solid 4 on that.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I would go about a 4 or 5 on this one. It's totally, it really does have a good flavor.
While we're talking about, before we get to mouthfeel and overall, I was going to say another thing about this. It won gold medal 2010 in the World Beer Championship, so it's got a little bit of street cred to it. Let's get to mouthfeel.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, when something has 7 malts, it's going to be syrupy. That's what you have here.
Yep.
Syrupy, boozy. You can feel the alcohol content in the throat.
Yep, sure can.
Mouthfeel, I'm going to say it's a solid 4 for me on that too.
Yeah, I would say 4 definitely on that.
Drinkability, I'm going to go, it's very drinkable. I still would like a little more carbonation and it'd still be drinkable because it's very smooth. That's what you're going to get with that amount of malt. That malt is going to bring that smoothness. Generally, you get a syrupy mouthfeel, it's going to be fairly drinkable unless the flavor spectrum is over the top. Right. So, anyway, so I'm going to go drinkability. That's pretty drinkable, so I'm going to say a 4 or 5 on that.
Okay.
And I'm going to give
I agree.
Overall rating. Rate Beer has this at a 97 overall and 94 for the style out of 1,209 ratings. Beer Advocate has it an A- out of 1,126 rated. So that gives you an idea of kind of where they're at. YouTube ratings, hey, what's going on, YouTube raters? Let's go, Beer Geek Nation. And,
rating it.
you know, Greg, and unless I didn't see him when I was searching for him, the only one I saw reviewing this was American Beer TV. Did a short review, didn't give a rating as far as an actual rating, just kind of walked through the beer real quick. But we appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say my overall rating for this, I'm going to give Old Chub, it's pretty solid. I mean, it's hard to talk smack on this beer for what it is, being the can. I could go an A- on this. You know, I didn't know if I was going to give it a B+ or let it get into that A category, you know, slip in the back door with the Old Chub.
Plus, being in the can's a little deceptive, you know. Dude.
I didn't mean that. What I meant is Old Chub. Old Chub snuck in. With an A-.
Yes, it did.
And so I'm going to stick with the A- out of 100.
Rated 97. 95 to 97, somewhere in there.
I'm going to say a 94 for me. I wanted just a little bit more carbonation, maybe a little bit, maybe a younger version of this would have done better. So, but I'm going to say A- overall, 94. Pretty solid. If you like a very drinkable, malty, sweet, boozy, then this is it.
Yep.
This is going to be good and solid.
And the name says it all.
Yeah, Old Chub, Scotch Ale. I would say if you can usually pick it up for about $4, so I'd say I'm going to give it my blessing. If this is the first craft beer you have in a can, then you'll be impressed, I think.
I think so too. Yep.
If you want to check us out online, join us on Facebook, get in the discussion, just search for Beer Disciples and you'll find us. Comment, leave your comments below. We love to hear what you think if you've had it. Hear what you if you've got a review, post a video response, link it up to this. And if you have a beer that you'd like us to review, let us know. You can contact us at thebeerdisciples@gmail.com with any suggestions, or if you're in Eastern Washington, Spokane area, and you want to be on our show as a guest, then bring a beer and we'll review it with you.
For sure.
And